Good morning, Rabbi Isai. So, it's actually nighttime here, and I just hope it's good morning, Rabbi Isai. This year is for the Oilam in America, the morning in Chutz La'aretz, and Be'ez Hashem right after Shir.
Why are you doing that?
Right after Shir, there's another Hebrew Shir, and then off to the airport, straight to the airport. I just have to pack, though. That's the only problem. Not kidding. B. Schoenberg, here we have Abe Heiken from Cedarhurst, who jumped headfirst into Daf 74 Zevachim less than a month ago, after many years of learning all sorts of things since leaving yeshiva, but not Gemara regularly, and has been going strong since, even while traveling. He said that this has mamish changed his life. It's geschmack. It's getting me in the mood to fly now. May I take this opportunity to give Abe a bracha that he should continue to shots with MDY without any hitches. I would like to add, I'm sure everyone agrees, Abe, we are proud of you. Best wishes to all Binyamin Hakayin Schoenberg. Related? That's the one. Binyamin Hakayin, Givaldig. Rebelli mentioned all the groups of Klal Yisrael that must make shalom with each other. You can add the Chilonim as well to that list. I got a few messages. Where did the Tilumis in that whole video that I showed this morning? Where's the Achtos? You should show them fighting. From the Tilumi, they said.
They don't go to Hafganah.
You can't please everybody. Sometimes the Sfardim get all insulted that we don't include them. Looking forward to joining Rabbi Yossi on the MDY bus to greet Mashiach soon. Eliyahu Selam from London. Good morning, Rebelli. What is your take on learning on Nittelnacht? Regards. File from Elazar. I don't paskin things. I can just tell you what my ashkaf is. We grew up that you have to learn every day of the year. There's no heter not to learn. Of course, all the Hasidim, most Hasidim don't learn Nittel Nacht. So, if you're Hasidish, I don't know what to tell you. If you're Litvish, I could tell you that you should learn double to make up for part of Klal Yisrael that's not learning. The world cannot exist without Torah. Dov Eisenberger, Rebelli, the Zukin on the MDY cruise going down. On the one hand, I got an email from a guy written half in English, half in Yeshivish, and he's like, how dare you make a chayzik from the Torah, and Torah has to be learned b'gedusha, u'b'tahara, b'reses, b'zeya. You have to be b'chilu, b'rada. Maybe I'm adding a few words. So, and here he goes. This person says, Dov Eisenberger, the Zukin on the MDY cruise going down the water slide. This might not be the best spot for him. Maybe else he's taken to the other side. The water, you know how I am with noise. The water slide with his walker is just a classic. This is why MDY is so great. Small doses of exceptional humor throughout while we observe the daf. Maybe everyone should pocket a daf kuf. Still laughing from that. Happy that you're back at the Eichel desk and feeling better. Mazel tov, the son's recent simcha. Have a safe trip. Safe return. Your Talmud Chassid. Dov Eisenberger. The Masechta sponsored by David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Yimari Shmuel Baruch Ben Chaim Tzvi Doi Zichron Levracham. Masechta sponsored anonymous Lili Nishmas Doi Di Shlomi Yehuda Zichron Levracham Ben Shmuel Chaim Asher Shokav V'Lo Mekochim Kol Chayav. Anonymous Lezech Nishmas Nochem Tzvi Ben David. Sponsored by Skybrook Capital in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs Taki and Shamshi Shlavrak for the devotion to Torah study and the Shir. Joel Gedalius, Lili Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalius. Anonymous Hatzlocha Bruchnis Ubegashmis. Coil sponsors. Anonymous from London, Parnosa B'Shefa. Monthly sponsors. Anonymous from London, Hatzlocha B'Parnosa. Ari Simon Lefur Shlema Avi Mori Baruch Ben Miriam. Esther Walkenstein. Mazel Tov to my husband Kalman Etano Walkenstein on his 40th birthday. Mazel Tov. How you doing? What's your name? Remind me your name. Joe?
Josh. Say loud.
Josh. Oh, Josh, because Joe's you. Yeah, you can. You're not even Sephardi. Weekly sponsors, Leiba and Libby Tenenbaum, Lefur Shlema Bakarev Chaim Doiv Ben Gittel Schomblum. Daily sponsors, Zechanishmas Mr. Barry Ray. Zechat Tzadik Yevrachat says here. Barry Ray was my neighbor in Lincolnwood, and I davened in shul for many years. He's the father of my very good friend, Shur Ray, and my good friend, Tzvi Ray. From Shmuli, Dina, Ariel, Ezra, Ilana, and Yael, Gans. Oh, Dr. Gans. Yaakov Slatus, Mazel Tov to Reveli on the birth of a new grandson, Yishkoyach Yaakov, Yishkoyach. And the way art, Refor Shlema Yonatan Edem B'Shev Bracha, Refor Shlema Mordechai Ben Esther, Refor Sayela Daniel Zev Ben Ayel Esther. They announced Ma'ariv in 30 minutes from now. Not going to happen. Rabbi say holding smack in the middle of the Amud. Kuf Aleph Amud Beis. Rabbi say 100 daf into Zevachim. We're just going to take it back a few lines because I didn't explain anything. I just read it just to get there. But we learned Dover Acher. So today, we got a Gadita, a nice Amud of a Gadita, and then easier stuff. Dover Acher. So one of the questions that was asked yesterday or this morning, we're talking about the chatos that was burnt by Aaron and his sons. And Moshe Rabbeinu was wondering, he's very upset, he was upset. Why do you burn the chatos? Either you burn all the 3 goats or you don't burn any of them. What's going on here? But Dov Acher, I'll prove to you the reason why they burnt it was not because of Aninos, it was because of Tumah. Pinchas was alive. So what are you telling me? That they were the only Koyanim around? And even though they were Oinen, they had to perform, they had to perform the Avodah and everything, but Pinchas is alive. Pinchas could have done all the Avodah. Says the Gemara, Shapir Kar Milei. That's a very good taina. Says the Gemara, Savar Lob. So what's the answer? Savar Lob Rebbe Lazar, Dom Rebbe Lazar, Rebbe Chanina, Leniskaven Pinchas Asharogel Zimri. Pinchas, you're right, he was a Kohen, but only later on in life. When did he become a Kohen? After he killed Zimri. The Chsiv, it says in the pasuk, V'haisa Lazari Achav Bris Kun HaSoila. After Hashem was impressed that he was a Kanoi, and he got up and he killed Zimri, and Klal Yisrael was very upset at him, Hashem promised him, you and your children will be Bris Kun HaSolim, you'll be Kohanim. Rav Ashi says another answer, and we have to understand why Rav Ashi, what is he going to do with this pasuk? It seems like Pinchas is a Kohen forever from that point on, from the point of Zimri. Rav Ashi says, no, Achisam Shalom Ben Ashvatim. This is where we had the whole bus, Shalom. After Pinchas heard the story with the whole Mizbeach that was done by Bnei Gad and Bnei Ruvain, Klal Yisrael wanted to wipe Bnei Gad and Bnei Ruvain out. And the Bnei Gad and Bnei Ruvain told them that the reason why they built a Mizbeach where they weren't allowed to in Chutz La'aretz is because they wanted to prove to their children for future generations that they're Jewish. Living in Chutz La'aretz is dangerous. See, today there's a lot of zboilulus, a lot of intermarriage, and a lot of people get lost. They find assimilations. You also find different communities. Oh, they used to be Jewish. They are Jewish. What are they called in Spain? They found the Moranos. Maybe the Moranos. Maybe they're not. Who knows? Generations passed by. They were hiding from the Goyim. You should know, generation to generation, Klal Yisrael came to wipe us out. Why? Because we had a Mizbeach. Why did they come to wipe us out? Why did they wipe out the Africans over there? Because we are part of them. And we did something wrong. We did it on purpose to invoke anger and make them come to us, and then we can tell future generations that we are Jewish. So now the Gemara this is where we got to basically. And the Gemara says, we're going back to Rav Ashi. Doesn't it say in the pasuk, Vayishma Pinchas HaKohen? How can you say that Pinchas became a Kohen by Zimri? It happened much later when he dealt the Shalom over there with the Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven. Oh, sorry. Vidach Nami, you're right. This one is Rav Ashi. Vidach Nami, because I remember when I was learning it, it's like Vidach, we just finished Rav Ashi. So that's why it stuck in my head. Vidach Nami is Rav Ashi. How can Rav Ashi say that it's when he did Shalom, but it says that he became a Kohen by Zimri, not by the Shalom. It says Gemara, that only his children are going to be Kohanim, maybe. So it's basically like two. He's saying there was 2 stages. First, Hashem gave him a bracha that your children will be Kohanim. Then Hashem said, you did peace, you will also become a Kohen. Now we have to understand the other tzad. How do you say that he became a Kohen by Zimri? Did he become a Kohen by the peace that he made with Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven? That there's, again, to say that his children are like him. It's not only that he's a Kohen, but that his children are also Kohanim. Okay? What's your names?
Israel.
Israel what?
Rosenbaum.
You related to this? Who's that?
My father.
No way. From where are you?
West Hempstead.
Kol hakavod. Shalom aleichem. How you doing?
Good.
You do the daf or?
Yeah.
How old are you?
13.
So when did you start?
Shavuos Daf Beis.
Just had his bar mitzvah last week.
Yeah.
Wow. So at your bar mitzvah, you made a siyum or something under the?
No.
Not even. You don't tell your friends. They don't know. Under the radar.
Not anymore.
Unbelievable. Nah, no, it's just. Okay. Yavaldik. Kolakash. Who is that base? How many dafim is that?
From Shavuos to now?
Yeah. How many daf are in Shavuos?
48.
No, what comes after Shavuos? Ariel?
No.
Ariel, 13. Then?
What is... No.
You did Avodah Zarah?
What is Zara?
How many daf is Avodah Zarah?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I don't know either. Says the Gemara, Omer Rav, Moshe Rabbeinu, here he goes. I got it though. Moshe Rabbeinu Kohen Gadol. Don't get used to it. So this is Zevachim, like it's hard to come by that guy though. Well, every 100 daf, there's one Amud. Here we are, 100 daf in, we get our one Amud. Omer Rav, Moshe Rabbeinu Kohen Gadol. Moshe Rabbeinu is a Kohen Gadol. V'choylek b'kotchei shamayim haya. And he divided up the kachim. So you have to think to yourself, if he's a Kohen Gadol, what kind of issues do you have? Shalom aleichem to you also. How are you? What's your name?
Barry.
From where?
Sandy Springs, Georgia.
From where?
Sandy Springs, Georgia.
Sandy Springs, Georgia. Shalom aleichem. Are you the only guy in Sandy Springs, Georgia that does the daf?
Maybe a few others.
Maybe a few others. Givaldik. We'll have a satellite location in Sandy Springs. Here's a question, Rabbi Yisai. If Moshe Rabbeinu was a Kohen Gadol, he was a Kohen, how did he deal with the bones of Yosef HaTzadik? How did he collect the bones of Yosef HaTzadik? Anybody think about that? Why is it Meis Mitzvah? There's a whole client show there. No, it's Meis Mitzvah is when you're the only guy.
Maybe only became a Kohen Gadol once the Mishkan was built.
So they say it is Meis Mitzvah. Why? Because Klal Yisrael is busy getting the bees, the gold and the silver, and he was the only one around, so he was a Meis Mitzvah. Okay. But anyways, let's see what the Gemara asks. All 7 days of the Miluyim, Moshe Rabbeinu took a portion. We have the same question. How could, we said before, Pinchas was around. Don't tell me that Aaron and his sons were the old Kohanim. There's Pinchas. V'misa, and if it's true that the Moshe Rabbeinu was a Kohen, Moshe Rabbeinu was around. He's a Kohen Gadol. Why does it only talk about Pinchas being in addition to the ones that are Einim? There's only Aaron and his 2 sons were Einim, and therefore they had to do the Avodah. No, there's Moshe Rabbeinu. He could have done the Avodah. He wasn't an Einim. Maybe perhaps Moshe Rabbeinu was busy talking to the Rebbeinu Shalom, the Amar Mar, Moshe Bashkama Yara. Back in the day, by Matan Torah, he would get up early in the morning, he'd come back in the morning, 24 hours. It's not. He wasn't a person that you could rely on for that avodah mitzvah. She's busy with the Rebbeinu Shalom. Meisvei lechem elikav mikachei hakadoshim u'min hakachim yoichel. Again, we're talking about a balmum over here. Lechem elikav, the bread, the kaddish bread, and it talks about 2 types of kachim. Mikachei hakadoshim, what's that? Kachim. U'min hakadoshim, and also from kachim, which would seem like kachim kalim. So the Gemara asks a simple question: in Nemru Kachim Kachim, Lama Nemru Kachim Kalim. Why do we have to have 2 types? Nemru Kachim Kalim, Lama Nemru Kachim Kachim. Say one of the 2. Says the Gemara, Ilu. We're just trying to get to a point to show that Moshe Rabbeinu was not a Kohen Gadol. Ilu Nemru Kachim Kalim. If we wouldn't say Kachim Kalim, I see Omer Kachim Kachim Hu Da Eichel. I would say that Kachim Kachim is different. That you could eat Kachim Kachim. Why? Sharei Hujul Lazar Vilahen. Kachim Kachim were allowed for a Yisrael to eat and also to Kohanim. Where in the world do you let a Zar eat Kachim Kachim? Must be Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu was a Zar. He was a Yisrael. No, so it says Mefurish, he's a Yisrael. How are you telling me that he's a Kohen Gadol? Kachim Kalim lo yoichal. And now it also says over there, we're just finishing this off, Chiddush, don't eat, you shouldn't eat Balmum, shouldn't eat Kachim Kalim. I'm sorry, I would think like Kachim Kalim you shouldn't eat. If it would just say, it wouldn't say Kachim Kachim, this is everybody would say this svara. Maybe a balmum, somebody has a blemish, he should eat the easier kachim, not the severe, the strong one. Because he should not eat the real strong ones. Great. That's why we have both the kachim and kachim kalim. But the bottom line is, obviously zar is referring to Moshe Rabbeinu. Omer Rav Sheshes, no, loy, bebama, lazar. We're talking about the bama. We don't have to see this whole thing. Yeah, you can turn off the volume a little bit. Bama just means that there were certain times in Klal Yisrael where people were able to bring a carbon in their backyard. There's a bama g'dola, bama ktana. Rashi says over here we're talking about a bama g'dola. No? Bama ktana. Sorry, bama ktana. Bama ktana. There was you could eat the mincha. Say it. Enough. Great. That's a bama. I want that picture right over there. Bama. Guys in his backyard in Tom's River over there. I can't think of another place. I mean, where do they have backyards like that? Huh?
Hancock Park.
Hancock Park. Okay. Bel Air.
Manchester.
Yeah. Manchester. Somebody just wrote to me that we're asking for $1,000 a person, by the way, which we lose money on for the Shabbaton. $1,000 in America is like $18,000 in Manchester. That's how we're musagim, he tells me. He wrote it today. He's like, so therefore, he had a whole cheshbon how he's going to come, sneak in. He's telling me this, how he's going to sneak in, and it's not a joke. There are people that do it, and they think that it's mutter. And he's telling me the term. Anyways, some of the food goes to waste. And what about the sea? We had people last year come, they sit down on a table. Now, people that actually paid don't have room. We had people sitting outside, not exaggerating, sit outside in the hall because they wouldn't get up. Oh, listen, we stayed in a hotel. We had to walk 2 miles to get here. Why shouldn't they come in? Kids, security at the door, sneak in. Oh, Zach. But he's telling. I know he's joking. This guy's joking, obviously, but there's some truth to this joke. You know, there are people that think that they make these cheshbonos. Look, there has to be this extra food, and the room, the air conditioner is anyways on. So it's a private. I'll just come in. I'm not going to sleep there. I'm going to sleep in a tent.
It's MDY. It's free. It's MDY.
MDY. We owe it to him. Yeah. Right. Right there. I know he's joking. I know. I don't need another email from him. I know this guy was joking, but the other people are not. So where are we holding? Oh, all the way in the bottom. On this bama ketana, you can bring a mincha, and that's what it's talking about over here. That's where a Yisrael eats a mincha on a bama ketana. We're going to see later that when you bring a mincha to the Beis Hamikdash, you don't need it at all for the Yisrael. Meisvei. Another question. So we're going back to that guy now. We said that Moshe Rabbeinu was a Kohen Gadol. Miriam is Gira. So the way it works is a person has tzaras. Yeah, we're going back to our.
I'm standing here by Punovich. Soon we'll tell you some hot lashon hara you haven't yet heard regarding the behind the scenes of the arbitration ruling. What is? Wait.
What is
this?
So you need a kohen to check out the tzaras, and then when the kohen checks out the tzaras and he decides that it's really tzaras, he sends you out of the machna. Now the question is, Miriam that had tzaras, mi is gira. Who decided that she is a mitzayra? Im toimer Moshe is gira. You'll tell me that he's a kohen and he decided Moshe zarhu. It says mefurish over here that Moshe Rabbeinu was a Yisrael, not a kohen. Ve'ein zar writes in a guy, famous halacha, that only a kohen, and not only a kohen, any kohen, even amaretz kohen, can look at it and decide yes or no. He could ask a rabbi, but a Yisrael gadol adar cannot paskin on tzaras. V'im toimar Aaron is gira. You'll say, okay, Aaron, the brother. Aaron karavu. Aaron is her brother. He can't. Why the Gemara doesn't answer that? Okay, to discuss it. Ayin in the Marsha, whatever. Ve'ein karav royas and a gun. Aaron is a relative. He can't. So what happened? Baruch gave Miriam tremendous amount of honor. Ani kohen, I'm the kohen. Vani masgira, I'm going to decide that she's a musgar. Ani cholta, I'm going to put her. I'm going to machlet her. In other words, there's different levels, right? First you say go for 7 days, come back. When she comes back, so I'm going to do it all. Vani Poitra, and at the end of the day, I'm going to say that she's done. Tani Mia, Moshe Zar, Vein Zar, and a guy. This is before Moshe Rabbeinu is Israel. Or Rachma Yitzchak, Shani Maris Negoyim, the Aaron Abon of Ksuvim Parasha. What's different is by Maris Negoyim. I don't have the. Do I have the pasuk? Yeah, here. Here's the pasuk. Look what it says in the pasuk. Pasuk base. V'huva el Aaron hakoyin o elechad mibanav hakoyanim. It says mefurish that you should bring it, the tzaras, only to Aaron and his sons. Finished. I'm going to ask you a question, and depending what type of camp you belong to, you're going to have a different answer. Question: how in the world could the Rebbeinu Shalom decide on Miriam? He's not a Kohen. He's not the son of Aaron. Think about it. The Rebbeinu Shalom says, "I'm going to calm down. I'm going to do this. I'm going to check." But it says in the pasuk, Aaron above. No, what do you say, Rabbi? What do you tell me? What?
He's making the rules.
He makes the rules. No, what do you say?
Right?
Exactly what I wanted to hear. You have a chassid, and you have, well, the Haimashiyid. Chassid says he makes the rules. Chassid grows up. The Rebbe, if the Rebbe does, he makes the rules. But he says, wait a minute, Leiba Shemaimi. He's Litvish. There's a Rebbeinu Shalom here, Rebbeinu Shalom here. Rebbeinu Shalom cannot decide. If he wrote the Torah and he gave us the Torah, he can't make decisions afterwards. Varaya, Rebbe Lazar, he was right, and the Baskel came out from Shemaim and said, "You are right," and he was in what do you call it, for the rest of his life. He was a shamuti. He was in chayrim the rest of his life. But Hashem agreed with him. Torah Leiba Shemaim. Hashem, you don't agree now. You give us the Torah, we decide in this world, not you. So you can't make up the rules. You hear that? I knew it without asking a chassid. But Baruch Hashem, Baruch Shekivanti. I wanted more of a Litvish guy, not so much Yitzi, but okay. For today, we're going to call him a Litvak. I think he has a shtickle gartel. No, don't you have a gartel? Okay, so.
There's 3 shutfim in a person, so that means that one of Aaron and Bonner was a Shem, so they could be one of Aaron and Bonner.
Woo! He's the father and the son at the same time. Wow.
Wrong religion.
That's too deep for me. Meisvei, listen to this. Chomesh smochos hoisa Elisheva. Elisheva, who's Elisheva? Elisheva is Aaron's wife, but also Nachshon's sister. She had, and
Gershon.
Good. Yeah. Elisheva, she had 5 things going for her. I'm not Hasidish like that, so I don't know. I know in the Litvish world, which is, I'm saying it only because I know Hasidim very much admired Reb Chaim Kanievsky and Reb Eliashiv. He was accepted upon everybody for halacha and these kind of things. Every time I went to Reb Chaim Kanievsky or Reb Eliashiv, most of the people online were even Hasidim. So, Rebbetzin Basheva Kanievsky, I don't know another person like that. She was Reb Eliashiv's daughter. She was Reb Chaim Kanievsky's wife, and she's the Stipler's daughter-in-law, and she had a few other things going for her. I think they're related to Reb Steinman, to Reb Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, I don't know, they had in that Welt, they're like, it doesn't get any more yichus than that. So, but there's just like a mashal in our generation, right? You're talking about being related to the king, to the Kohen Gadol, to married. She had 5 things more than everybody else. Yavam Melech, it's an interesting lashon. Her Yavam, well, who's her Yavam? If her husband Aaron would die, who would be Miyavim her? Moshe Rabbeinu. So we're calling the brother-in-law Yavam. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
It's Alessandro.
From where? From Gimel, Shalom Aleichem. When we do the share at different hours, so you have different types of people that can come. Because in the morning, people have this, that, different, no excuses. Yavam Melech. I'm walking the street yesterday. My son says, I need a pair of tzitzis. My son says he needs a pair of tzitzis. I closed the Gemara, and I went to get him a pair of tzitzis with tchelis. He wants a Hasidish one, with the stripe. No problem. I go to Mishkan Tchelet, and as I go, a guy comes over and says, oh, so you're going to America tomorrow? Like, who are you? I do this shit every day. Where do you live? Right here. I've never seen you. I'll be there tomorrow. Lamaisi wasn't here today. After I come back. But like a guy in his 60s, whatever, you know. normal looking guy, does the share every day, never seen him. Because everybody has their thing. He has to take his kids to school. Or his grandchildren, his great-grandchildren to school. I don't know what it is. Yevama Melech, her brother-in-law, is a king. Isha, her husband, Kohen Gadol. Bina, what about her son? Zgan. Elazar is Zgan. Ben Bina, the grandson, Pinchas. Mishloach Mechama. When they go out to war, he gives the whole Musr thing. Vachia, and her brother, Nasi Shevet. Rabbi Isai, this is the biggest Musr ever. She had everything going for her, everything. I say this all the time, I'm going to say it again. I know people, maybe I could get myself into trouble, but let's call him one of the wealthiest guys in Chicago. The wealthiest guy in Chicago, when I lived in Chicago. The guy that gave the most tzedakah. 3 or 4 marriages. Not with us anymore. The Shama is Zalrud Gan Eden. Big Baal tzedakah. Do you want his $700 million? That's what you want. You need happiness in life. It's not about the money. What are people jealous of? Always they're jealous about the money. The wealthy, some of the wealthy people are some of the most bitter people ever. It doesn't buy it, but you can only know it when you have the money. You know that. Everybody else is mekan. I wish I had $300 million. If I had $1 million, of course I'd be happy. I'd do this and that. Shtusim va'avolim, I know from inside. Money doesn't buy happiness. We just spoke about it last night. People we know, they're still alive. It doesn't help. Anyway, so, yeah, the people jealous of actors and the Hollywood, they're not happy. They're miserable people, mamish miserable. So you say, and then comes the most famous vart of Lisachmed Beis Riyecha. You shouldn't be jealous of your friend's house. He has that house in Tom's River over there. Your mom is jealous. Lisachmed Eshes Riyecha. Avdoi, V'amasoi, Shoyrech HaMoyroi, V'chol Asher L'Riyecha. When you're jealous of a person, and you know what that guy Shalom Bayis is like, how many tens of thousands of dollars he pays in therapy, and mental illness, and regular diseases that he might be going through, and who knows what, and the law, and the this, everybody. Guarantee you, if you knew all his tzaras, you don't want his house. You don't want his house. V'chol asher l'riyecha. You have to take the whole package. And the Gemara is saying, look at her. Look at Elisheva. Her husband is this. Her father is that. Her brother-in-law is this. Her son, her grandson, mamish, all the nachas in the world. And then the Gemara finishes off. Va'avela shnei bunel. She just lost 2 sons in her lifetime. Young guys. Now those who don't know, it's something that doesn't go away. It's right there. I'll tell you, mamish, a short maisa, not even a good maisa, but I think it's a good maisa because it's a maisa shebachol yoy. A woman decided, there's a maisa shoyu. A woman decided to come to Eretz Yisrael and marry a koil guy. She came from a very wealthy family. She wanted to learn, she got inspired in seminary, the whole thing. She wanted only a koil guy. Parents don't listen. We're not into the whole koil thing. You want it, you're on your own. You're on your own means you can't get a car, this, that. I got it. Fine. She goes to Eretz Yisrael and she had a baby. She goes into the place. She wants to buy a stroller. She can't afford it. She's thinking, but I can't get the cheapest one. So let me get like one model above the cheapest. That's all she could afford. And then in comes that the 5-towner, the whole thing. And what is it called? Bugaboo. $1,500 for the but if you have the 4x4, the whole engine, the whole this, the electric that, and the wheels like that, okay, $6,500. She says, I want that, I want this, and she's picking out, and it's eating her up. A little kinna, why not? The strollers. Why do they have these strollers? For the baby? It's not for the baby, it's for the people that don't have those strollers, yeah? So, and then she overhears the mother telling the daughter, but where are you going to put the oxygen tanks? If the bed is like this, and she chapped that this baby, whatever, he's not there, but this baby is on oxygen and everything, and he's like, he has issues. And like she says, you can have the stroller, I don't need the stroller, I'm going to take the... Don't be jealous of the stroller, you have to know what's behind the scenes. Zok the Gemara... It says that her brother-in-law, Moshe Rabbeinu, Melech, says Gemara, Melechin, Kohen Gadol, he was only a king. It doesn't say, oh, he's a Kohen Gadol. Ema af melech. He was a Kohen Gadol, but he's also not only Kohen Gadol, he's a melech. And what about Aaron? We have to figure it out. Says the Gemara Ketanoi, like a machlokes Tanoi. Vayichar af Hashem b'Moshe. Hashem got upset with Moshe Rabbeinu when he refused to go to Paroi. Every time it mentions in the Torah that there was anger, there's a roishim, something happened. There was a curse after. There's something happened. Nothing happened afterwards. It's not true. Something happened over there. Your brother Aaron was a Levi. But Aaron is not a Levi, he's a Kohen. I wanted you, Moshe Rabbeinu, to be a Kohen, and he to be the Levi. Because you messed up over here and you refused to go to Paroi, I'm punishing you right now. This is the Roshim. Here's the punishment. He, from now on, for generations, Rabbi Schoenberg right now, and Dani are Kohanim because it was supposed to be for Moshe Rabbeinu, but it went to Aaron HaKohen. Va'ata Levi. And you are going to remain a Levi. So you see, he was a Kohen, but then he turned into a Levi. Another answer. Moshe Rabbeinu was only, he was a Kohen, but only for 7 days, during the Miluim. The kahuna didn't, this is, if I ask you, what's a joke 347? Most people don't know 347, no? No? 347, joke 347?
We know 6-7.
Which one?
6-7.
What's 6-7?
That's an old one. 347 is an old one.
Yeah, years ago. Basically, the joke that a guy goes to the rabbi and says, Rabbi, I want to be a kohen. He says, Rabbi, I can't make you a kohen. Kohen, but I want to be a kohen. I'll pay you $500. No, $10,000. Finally, the rabbi says, like, why? Why do you want to be a kohen? He says, because my father's a kohen. So, here's the makar for the joke. That what? Like, Moshe remained a kohen, but his children are not kohanim anymore. Shenemar, u'Moshe shelikim banav yikor al shevet Levi. Only his sons are going to be called a Levi. Va'omer Moshe va'Aaron b'choyanav u'Shmuel b'koyer Shmoi. Over here we have Ari Simon, so we have to do it a shtickle because the guys are coming in. Too bad. Moshe v'Aaron v'choyanav Let's just go open. Okay, let's go, because we got to do Ma'ariv in 1 minute. So Moshe and Aaron are still Kohanim. It says Mefurish, Moshe is a Kohen. Why do I need a second pasuk? Maybe it's for future generations, the first one. No, Moshe right now is a Kohen. Not the future generations. He himself is a Kohen. Every time it mentions anger, there's something that happened afterwards. Moshe Rabbeinu was very upset because Paro said, don't ever come back to me, I don't want to see your face. So Moshe left with anger. And Moshe didn't reply, didn't curse him or anything. Here we go. Look at this. You didn't know about this story. That's little Paro over there. He's Amatal. At least Joe liked it. Bekitzer, it says in the Gemara like this, Amar Shlakish, story of Yatza. He gave him a smack in the face. Moshe Rabbeinu smacked Paroi right in the face. How come Rish Lakish say such a thing? Rish Lakish is the one that says, Rish Lakish melechu, v'hazver le'parim. You got to treat a king with respect. Respect. To smack a king in the face is respect. Rabbi Yochanan argues and he says, no, a power is in Russia. Says the Gemara Epoch. No, it's Rabbi Yochanan who said treat him with respect. Rish Lakish in fact says so therefore Rish Lakish said he smacked him in the face. You should always have the fear of the kingdom on you. Moshe told Paroi, all your slaves are going to come to me. What he really meant is, you're going to come to me. And in fact, Moshe Rabbeinu did come to him. He didn't say, you come to me, because it's not respectful to tell the king, you're going to come to me. The famous story with Eliyahu, the biggest Rasha, Achav, the Rasha, the king, but Eliyahu Navi, out of respect of the kingdom, he ran in front of King Achav, ran in front of his horse. Amar Ula. Bikish Moshe Malchus Moshe Rabbeinu wanted kingdom, and Akash Baruch Hu didn't give it to him. The Chsiv Al Tikra Haloim. We'll see. Haloim is like a word that has to do with kingdom. Ve'en Haloim Elo Malchus. Shenemar Mi Anoichi Hashem Elikim Ki Havayesani Ad Haloim. Okay. Basav Rabbi Shmuel Omer Yivama Melech. It says Mefurish that Moshe Rabbeinu was a king. Yivama, her brother-in-law, was a king. Omerava Loi Ulazari Kamar. It meant that Moshe Rabbeinu, his children are not going to be kings. He himself was a king. Says the Gemara, every time it says the word haloim means for generations. It also says haloim. Who in? Shaul was a king. Zarilai, but his children not. Says the Gemara, two answers. His son was a king. Ishbois was a king for 2 years. Even himself didn't remain a king. When they give somebody greatness, this greatness goes for generations. It goes forever, the king goes forever. Says the Gemara, but if a person acts with haughtiness, Hakadosh Baruch Hu mashpila, Hakadosh Baruch Hu puts him down. So Shaul, because he sinned, Hakadosh Baruch Hu put him down. Yes, you're right, it's supposed to go for generations, but if you mess up, then Hakadosh Baruch Hu takes it away from you. So we learned Balimumim, Bain Balimumim, Oivrim, Bain Balimumim, this. Here, let me just show you this video real quickly. So the Mishnah says that a Balmum, somebody has a blemish, you get to eat from the kachim. It's a very long one. It's one of the longest.
Fracture in your hand.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me see. Maybe there's another one. This is for the whoa, time out. No, it's only in Hebrew.
You have a small fracture in your hand, and you need to wear the cast for 3 months.
Gersh, a little bit more.
I was hoping for some financial assistance while I recover.
I'm sorry, our policy only allows support for permanent disabilities. We can't help with temporary conditions.
See this? It's a disability. That means you owe me money. A deal is a deal, my friend.
A pleasure doing business with you, Captain. She's all yours.
Erev Tov, Rabu Isai.
Nice, very good, very geschmack. Zog the Gemara. Every day it's getting better and better. Valley Moment. Just a mum over. It could be it's a ma'aser shkamatoy, but just recently somebody was saying that in India, some guy was taking an MRI, and they saw in the scan that he has a cockroach in his lung. So he said, listen, we can't help you out. For this, you need to go to the big hospital. So he goes to the big hospital, they take a look, and he says, no. You don't have a cockroach in your lung. That hospital has a cockroach in their MRI. Minani Mili. So there's a mum over. Like he went from having a cockroach in his lung to everything's beseder. Minani Mili Torah Rabbanan calls Zochar l'Rabbis Balmumim. Every male gets to eat even a Balmum. And we went through the Gemara. Maybe it means Tulyo. No, it means him. Lamai Ila Achilo Arei Kfar Nemar. So just to point out, it says Kol Zochar 3 times. So the Gemara is going to do 3 drushes here. It's just easy. We're repeating itself. Ila Achilo Arei Kfar Nemar. There's a mufurish pasuk that a Balmum, one with a blemish, could eat. Kachim. It says. Boom. Elo lechaluka means he gets to divide up. In other words, he could demand a portion. He doesn't have to wait for his friend to give him a gift. And another Tana says the same thing, but from the second drasha. So Kol Zochar says a balmum. Lemai ilach arik farama. To eat, we have a pasuk. We saw it before. Ilach haluka arik farama. We just learned it a second ago. So now we're going to add it. How do you know about mum that started off his life with a mum? How do you know that he gets to eat? That's the third one. And now we're doing the whole thing all over again, so it's like a freebie. We just learned all these 3 things. But I'm going to add one thing. Now, whoa, this is a problem. We just said a person that has a mum that never go away could eat from the kachim. So now the Gemara is saying, but what about a guy that has a broken bone and he has a cast and it's going to go away in 3 weeks? He for sure could eat. And now the Gemara is saying no. But maybe a guy that has a cast shouldn't be able to eat. Says Gemara, Klapi Laya, makes no sense what you just said. On Rav Sheshes Eipoch, we have the famous Eipoch here, just in case you didn't get it. We thought that a Balmum Kavua, he has a mum that will never go away. He could eat. Green, he eats. But we thought that maybe somebody that has a broken bone that's going to go away, he shouldn't be able to eat. No, that makes no sense. So therefore, I have to flip it around. A person that has a cast and it's going to go away, for sure he could eat. But how do you know that there's a mum kavua that even if he'll never go away, how do you know he could eat? That's why we have a pasuk. Rabashi Omer Lo Ilam Lo Yiteipoch. No, you don't have to flip it. Vitzrich. In other words, this is good. A person who's tamei, you will just wait it out. He'll be tar in 7 days. He'll be tar in 2 days. So wait it out. This guy also, he has a cast on his arm. So wait for a week. Wait for 3 weeks. Be patient. You hear this? There is logic to say that a person who's born with a woman will never go away. He gets to eat. Because there's nothing for him to wait. It's never going away. So let him eat now. The Torah has Rachmanas on him. Eat right now. But a person that has a mum that's going to go away, Torah doesn't have Rachmanas on him. Be patient. It's like a person who's tummy. The Torah doesn't have Rachmanas on his tummy. Wait. Next sugya. Oh, we have to do the turning the daf. I love it. Adar Global, special experts in international payments. Rabbi said, if you want to do turning the daf, and then Yossi is trying to convince you, don't do it. Don't do it. It's geshmak. You'll be flying. Kol shady roy. Very balmum. It says in the Mishnah, if you're not available to do the avodah, you can't do avodah, you don't get a portion. As the Gemara balmum can't do the avodah, but he gets a portion. Visu. Now I'm going to just make a simple deal. But if a person, it seems like, it says Mefurish in the Mishnah, a person that can't do the avodah doesn't get a portion. And if a person could do the avodah, he does get a portion. The Gemara is going to answer, no, we're not doing diyukim today. No diyukim in the Mishnah. We're only going one direction. If you don't do the avodah, you don't get a portion. Not don't do. You can't do the avodah, you don't get a portion. But the Gemara first says, a person who's tamei, but he could perform the avodah. So in other words, he's available for any tamei person is available for kohen is available for the avodah because it's something called the carbon of the community. And nevertheless, he doesn't get a portion. Says Gemara, okay, let's change it a little bit, and then the Gemara is going to go back. We don't have to change it. Doesn't mean that he could do the avodah. The criteria is that he has to be able to eat. So therefore, a person who's tummy can't eat, he can't do that. But a person who's balmum could eat, he does get a portion. I'm sorry, what did I say? Person who's balmum, the person who's tummy cannot eat, therefore he doesn't get a chelik. A person who's a balmum could eat, he does get a chelik. He could demand a portion. But what about a child? He could eat, his father could give him a steak, but he can't demand a portion. Says the Gemara, ha loik tani. That's because you were inferring. We're not inferring today. Today we're just going straight. The Mishnah says, if you cannot perform avodah, you don't get a portion. Don't tell me, but if you could perform, or if you could eat, then you do get a chelik. No, there's no if you could. It's only if you cannot perform avodah. If you cannot eat, you don't get a chelik. So Ashi does this lachi. Once he telling me this idea that we're not doing diyukim today in the Mishnah, so you go back to what we said before, that if a person is not roila avodah, you don't have to say a person is not roila achila. A person is not roila avodah doesn't eat. Imishum tamei. Tamei like katani. You ask me a question from a person who's tamei, who cannot perform the avodah, and he doesn't get person who's tamei. What's our question? So the person who's tummy could perform that avodah with karbanis tzibur. Imishum tummy like katani. I'm not doing the yukim today. The imishum balmum, and you're asking me a question about a balmum who could eat even though he can't perform the avodah. Rahman Ravi, that's a special pasuk of Kol Zachar that's Merabah. Afilu tummy b'shas rikas dama v'tor b'shas hekta chalav v'mein choylek. So we said even a person who at the time of the zrika was completely tar, but at the end, by the hekta chalavim, a person who's tummy in the beginning and tar at the end, he doesn't get the chalukah. He can't demand a portion. Why? So we know that the beginning is always the most important part. The zrikas adam is the most important. Why don't you just tummy then? So the Gemara says, let's make a deal. Now we are doing the yukim. This makes sense. If he was tar in the beginning, which is the essential part, the zrika of the main part of the avodah, and later on, if he was tamei at the end, when you put the stuff on the mizbeach, which is not so essential, you do get a portion. So the Gemara says like Yabishol, that doesn't go according to Yabishol. It's not Yabishol. You have to go from end to end, from beginning to end. You have to be tar. From the Zrika all the way to Aktaris Chalavim, you have to be tar. So we don't go like him. Because as long as he was tar in the beginning by the Zrika, even though he became tummy afterwards, he gets a portion. Let's see if he did it. I asked him to do it, but it's a short day today. No, that's so we always go with Zrika. Zrika is the if he's tamei by zrika, but tahar when he puts it on the mizbeach, we said that's okay. Is that Dani? Is that Dani? Avrami told me that his father got up from a seat when you and Avrami were in that scene. He got up and he was dancing. He gave him such hana. So if by the zrika he's tar, Dani, you're a dancer. Huh? And by the egg chalav and tamei, we said that's good. But what about tar over here? Tamei over here. And tar over here. You see the question? Here's the Gemara's question. On the bookends, he's tar, but in the middle, he was tamei. He went to the mikvah. When you touch a shirt, you go to the mikvah that day, and you become tar at night. And at night, you're allowed to be maktir. By Rav Ashi, manishma chevre, ma'ariv v'chutz, nitme v'day ma'u. אולי באמת, יש לכם עניין לעשות מיירב? אני אתפלל בשדה תעופה, מה הבעיה? יש לי שם שעתיים. מה? כן, אבל אנחנו הסתבכנו כאן בזמן. יש המון כאן, ואני לא רוצה לדחות את זה למחר. טוב, אין ברירה. אז בואי רבה, שיניתם בינתיים מהו. What's the halacha if the person became tamei smack in the middle, like we see over here, Dani, fine, is tamei in the center. The main point is that he should be tar when he's doing the zrika. He should be tar when he's doing the aktara. The fact that he's tummy in the middle doesn't make a difference. Or dilma, or perhaps or maybe no, he should be tar from beginning to end and I don't know the answer, tekel. Rabbi Yisai, let's just do a little piece here. It's all the same. It's very, very simple. Mamish simple, but we'll start the sugya. Omarav, Haidino Merib Elazar Reb Shimon Gamirno. I learned, by you it says Rava? Yeah, so by me it says Rav, because Rava was an Amoira, and it's impossible that he learned this from Reb Elazar, but I know in the Gemara it says, my Gemara just switched it like that. Omarav, Haidino, it doesn't even say, oh, by the way, it used to be Rava. Omarav, Omarava, Haidino Merib Elazar Reb Shimon Gamirno. I learned this halacha from Reb Shimon, most interesting thing ever. The Omar bebeis hakisei. He came up with this halacha in the bathroom. Rabbi said we have some bathroom humor here. הישראלים לא להסתכל עכשיו, מה יהיה באמצע השיעור? Make it louder. ממש, the nuances are great.
אז בואו נתחיל זה עוד שתי מילים שלנו, עצמוי ותחס. עצמוי ותחס.
Okay, I told him that he should add. It's mashma from you saying that it's also to learn the daf in the Beis HaKisi. Mashma that you're allowed to learn the daf outside the Beis HaKisi, which is a big chiddush. No. Oh, it's mashma the sounds. That's the sound. No, those are the sounds that you would hear in the Mir Yeshiva of somebody who's learning the daf. No, this part is for the bathroom. You can watch this part. Okay, fine. Lamaisa, the best ideas. When do the best ideas come to you? Besides during Shemona Esrei? In the shower. Mikveh. Basically, times that your brain is not doing anything. Because if you're thinking about stuff, it's very hard to come up with ideas. But anyway, let me just. Should we stop here? Who? The villain guy in Rhode Island Mashulish in the bathroom. What's this? Let's just see what this is. Ariel pajama b'emtza halayla. Whatever is good. It's shorter. We got to make these a little shorter because they're going to miss my. Oh my God, it's getting longer and longer. What's going on here? I don't get it. Okay. Should we just stop here? It's a new sugi, and it's an easy sugi because once you get the first part, it goes, Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.